Have you got a pressing voiceover business or marketing related question you would like to get answered? That's what the Everyday VOpreneur Summer Series is all about. Each week for June, July, and August, I'm going to be inviting an everyday VOpreneur onto the show and giving them an opportunity to ask me one question and have it answered live and hopefully give them some useful advice that they can use going forward in their voiceover business. So this week I'm welcoming onto the show Anton H. Gill. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So what is your pressing question that you would like to have answered?
Short but sweet. Looking back, what do you wish you knew as a beginning voiceover artist, and what additional action items are critical for an artist beginning today?
Looking back, in all honesty, it is a wonder that I was ever able to build a business at all. I had no idea how completely clueless I actually was and how many mistakes I was actually making. Like, honestly, it is a miracle that anybody ever hired me for anything. It is a miracle that anybody ever answered one of my marketing emails or any of it, because I was just clueless. And I suppose when you don't know what you don't know, you just, you do. I'm the kind of guy that just does the thing, right? So I'm like, whatever, just push forward. Fortunately, over time, I started figuring some things out. So honestly, if I could go back and give myself one piece of advice, it would be to put at least as much effort into understanding the entrepreneurial side of what you're doing as it is to put in the effort to the performance and voiceover side. And I think a big part of the reason for that is just because of how much the industry has shifted over the years as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I started my business part-time when in what I would call the glory days of online casting. You could go on, you could have a casting site membership, maybe 2 casting site memberships, and you could make a decent income just by having that going for you. But that has shifted. We've seen voice actors who were heavily reliant on agents who have seen that the number of agent opportunities have greatly reduced, and the amount of competition that exists in online casting is incredibly high now. And so the number of opportunities that exist on those sites, more people are competing for. And I think we've also seen a decline in the quality of some of those jobs, which means if you are an amazing voice actor and you've put a lot of time and effort and energy into that side of your craft, coaching with great coaches, getting great demos, all of that sort of stuff, that only works if you have a solid grasp of the business side of all of this. That's what you need to do to get the jobs, to get the bookings. And so a couple of things that I did when I finally started to figure out, so I went full-time in 2012. I would say by 2015, 2016, I finally started figuring out a lot of what I was doing wrong. I had fixed most of my mistakes at that point over the last couple of years there. But 2 things that I did that I think had a huge impact. One was I took an entrepreneurship class through a local community college. So it was just an online class that, lasted 3 months or whatever. But taking that class and really making myself think more like a business owner, I think was huge for me, because it helped me to better understand all of the other aspects that you have to understand as a voice actor. You've got to know how to do your marketing. You've got to know how to do customer service. You got to know how to do entrepreneurship. You want at least a basic idea of the financial side of things and, keeping track of expenses, understanding a profit and loss statement. Are you actually making money or not making money? Like, all of this stuff really matters. But it's not something that we traditionally think about studying, because we're going to all the voiceover conferences, having opportunities to do workshops with great coaches, casting directors, etc. And again, that is so important, and everybody should be doing that stuff, but not completely at the neglect of some of this other stuff. So the entrepreneurial side was one thing. The other thing I did was I attended a marketing conference, and I want to say that I did that probably around 2018, maybe. So again, we all sign up for VO Atlanta or One Voice or WovoCon, all the great voiceover conferences that are out there. I'm super excited to be going to Mavo in the fall and speaking at Mavo.
And I just signed up for VO Atlanta yesterday. So
there you go, right? And so incredible learning opportunities that everybody should be thinking about and people should be doing. But how often do voice actors think about attending a marketing conference or a business conference or an entrepreneur conference or something like that? And so going to this marketing conference and having 3 days of it was really like more of an immersive workshop more than anything. That was game changing for me. And not only because I was able to translate some of that stuff into the coaching, and which I was already doing at that point, but I was able to even level up my own voiceover marketing efforts at that point because I realized that so much of this is our ability to market, our ability to hustle, our ability to get out there and find the work. And so I think those are probably two things that if I had figured those things out 2, 3, 4 years sooner, I probably would have got to where I wanted to go that much quicker.
Okay, well, your response gives me a lot of heart because I happen to be a CPA and I have an MBA. So I think I have a lot of that material covered. For my own audit a little while ago, I had divined that I really need to brush up on my marketing skills, which is why, I took your marketing playbook course and I'm going through that gradually, which is helping me tremendously because even if you have foundational marketing knowledge, your information is really helping in terms of being aware of the very current issues that we need to navigate as artists in today's very changing environment. So I feel as if I've plugged the most blatant, area of discrepancy that I have right now in terms of skill set. So that's good. Okay, that makes me feel great. So,
Yeah, I think the MBA is gonna heavily play into your favor because I mean, really, at the end of the day, what you have done is you have made the choice to start a small business.
Yeah.
And when you see it as a small business, I think that changes your earning potential. I think once upon a time, longer and longer ago now, I don't like to think about it. It makes me feel old. But once upon a time, you came in, you got a commercial demo, you got a narration demo, you got an agent, and you sat back and you waited for auditions and waited for the opportunity to make money. And that's just not how the industry works anymore for most of us. And so agents become a tool in the toolbox. Online casting can become a tool in the toolbox, but the primary driver of your revenue for most voice actors is going to be your willingness to get out there and get the work. And when you treat your business like a business, that to me is what makes the difference. And, realizing that is where the entire VOpreneur concept came from. It was me learning all of those lessons and going through some of that struggle the hard way that helped me realize, oh, wait a minute, this is how I need to think of this. This is how I need to look at this. This is how I need to treat it. And that made all the difference for me.
Yeah, which is why your podcast continues to be such a source of valuable information because I certainly bring myself up high in the learning curve very quickly by just going through those back issues. So thank you for that.
Well, Anton, thank you so much for your question, and I hope that's helpful for you, and I hope that you feel even more encouraged now because it sounds like you're definitely bringing the right background into this. So when you couple that along with your acting skills and your MBA and you put all these pieces of the puzzle together, I think you'll have the tools that you need to truly succeed in this industry.
Hopefully, keeping my fingers and toes crossed. So thank you again.